Good day everyone. Today we have the 2024 Nissan Z. This is going to be a full in-depth review of the exterior, interior, and engine details, and probably a short test drive of the Nissan Z. Once again, this is PatrickReyesTV. Let's go and start. Now with the key fob around the vehicle, you could lock and unlock the doors with this button right here. So it's currently locked. On the inside, you have your soft touch materials on the door sidings and your Alcantara finish on the grab handle right here. Door speakers is in here, powered by Bose. You have your seat controls right over here, and you have automatic recliner and seat position adjustment right over here. Now with the key fob inside the vehicle, you could start the accessories with this button. Head unit turns on. Once more for ignition. And to start the engine, just put your foot in the brake and push the button to start. So, before we go and check out the interior, let's go and check out the exterior first by turning on the headlights. You have auto mode as well. There you go. And the hazards. Now all windows, or both windows, are fully automatic, up and down. The all-new 7th generation Nissan Z is here. But before we go and take a tour of the new Z, let's take a trip down memory lane. The Nissan Z all started in 1969 and was marketed as Nissan's affordable sports car. The Nissan Z ever since then was known to be a reliable, good-looking performer and an affordable sports car. Back then in the late 60s, Nissan wasn't really a big car manufacturer. In fact, they once collaborated with Yamaha to produce a sports car, but it didn't work out. Since then, Yamaha pulled out the collaboration from Nissan and pushed it with Toyota, and there the famous Toyota 2000 GT was born. After almost a decade of research and development in the 60s, they finally released the first Nissan Z in 1969 as the 1970 model. It was a success with over 45,000 units sold in its first year. This is when Nissan began to transform from a small car manufacturing company to being one of the biggest car manufacturers today. 50 years after its first generation of the Nissan Z, we now have the 7th generation Nissan Z. It's bold, it's stylish, and made to look futuristic with a retro touch, if that makes sense. The new Nissan Z remains to be a two-door sports car for 2 seats, but with a new engine and an overhauled interior. The front reminds us of its predecessor's headlights from the 240Z and the 300ZX rectangular taillights on the back. The overall shape is still heavily influenced from the previous Nissan Z, with its wide rear fenders giving that modern sports car look and a classic look on the front and back. Driving around this vehicle gives you looks and head turns from people. The exterior design is just that good. The Nissan Z comes with a VR30 3.0-liter twin-turbo dual-overhead cam V6 gasoline engine which produces 383 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 475 Nm of torque at 1,600 to 4,400 RPM. It is mated with either the 6-speed manual transmission or the 9-speed automatic with manual mode. Acceleration time of 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is around 4.3 seconds and has a mixed fuel consumption rating of a respectable 9 kilometers per liter. Fuel tank capacity is 62 liters. So, let's give her a few revs and check how the engine sounds. So on the inside, you're greeted with a 3-spoke steering wheel. It is covered in leather. You have side extensions here for better grip. And you have the Z logo right over here. And the steering wheel is accented with piano black trims, as you can see. And on the left hand side, you have your volume controls, physical buttons. And in here, your previous, this is your previous and next, your different menus for the gauge cluster. And this is your selector for the gauge cluster. So you have a rocker button right here, which you could access various infos in here. So you have your tire pressure, G-force, boost, and settings. And on the right side, you have cruise control, your voice command, your phone call, and your driving assist right over there. On the back, you have paddle shifters. And steering wheel is also adjustable, both telescopic and tilt. Now, the gauge cluster is all digital, as you can see. And let's go and check out what the gauge has to offer. So I showed you earlier the tire pressure, the boost, G-force, and the upshift indicator. So you could adjust your rev indicator or your upshift indicator right over here. So you could set the RPM depending on what you want. So this is mainly used for track mode or in the tracks. You could have the assist with this rev limiters right there. And as you have seen earlier when I revved it up, the rev indicators or the upshift indicators slightly lit up in here. Now you have your tachometer right over there, which is right here on the very middle of the gauge cluster, giving you that very sporty look and give you that impression of a very race-driven car. And in here, you have a bunch of temperature. You have engine oil temperature, transmission oil temperature, differential oil, and your water temperature. Right over there, the orange is for the tire pressure. And you have your speedometer right here. So I think it's a pretty basic, nothing too fancy or nothing too complicated with regards to the gauge cluster. It's very straightforward, but then again, it looks very nice and it looks very sporty and it matches the new Nissan Z. Now in here, you have here your 9-speed automatic transmission, and push this button to go to drive, and you are now in drive mode. And to go to manual mode, just push it down again, and you are now in manual mode. And when you're in manual mode, you could shift manually with the paddle shifters right here on the steering wheel. And to go to reverse, just press this button on the side, push it up, and you're in reverse with the backup camera. You also have parking aids right over here to help you in reversing. And to go to park, just simply press P. Now in here, you have your different drive modes. So you have Sport and Standard. You have heated seats. Your trunk release. Handbrake. And the seats, as I have mentioned earlier, are powered seats, and the controls is on your right when you are the driver and on your left on the passenger. Cup holder and a bunch of space in here for storage. Now in here you have your air conditioning controls, you have your fan speed, and you have auto mode as well, temperature, recircular vents, and your different zones. Here you have your Type-C port and your USB-A port. This one has the wireless charging capability right here. And on the head unit, let's see what features this one has. So here we're in the home screen, and you have AM, FM, Bluetooth audio. You have phone, audio, and your connections. Again, for Bluetooth, your info, and settings. So for the settings, you have your volume, the sound, system voice, custom audio sources, camera, others, and the apps. And let's try listening to some music with the FM.
Based on sachet SRP.
Good morning. This is
Let's try scanning to 107.
the lucky one.
So right off the bat, the speakers sound so good. There's a punch of bass and clarity thanks to the tweeter speakers right there on the dashboard and the door speakers right here. It sounds really good, and as you can see, one reason is, of course, the speakers are actually powered by Bose. And it's very nice of Nissan to put Bose speakers to this one, not just to enjoy the driving experience, but also have the entertainment system fully loaded out here on the inside. Now here on the top, window visors with lights in here, map lights, your auto dimming rear view mirror. So basically, it's very straightforward here. It's very Japanese, and you have the sensors right here on the back for your driving assist. And in here you have your different gauges, which is very signature looking on the Nissan Zs. And you have your boost, your turbo speed right here, and your voltmeter. It's very nice that they still included analog gauges right over here to give you that, retro feel of having a race car, because everything these days are all digital. The gauge cluster is all digital, but I love how they still put in analog gauge clusters in here. So the air con vents are in here on the side, in the doors, one over there as well, and in here on the middle. Dashboard materials are plastic. It is soft touch though, to give you that better feel. Silver accents right here on the air conditioning vents, and in here you have leather wrapped material on the bottom part of the dashboard, and stitching or leather stitching as well. Now for cup holders, as I've mentioned earlier, you have one here and one in here as well, but you need to open this up for you to access that one. And you also have cup holders in here on the doors, just in case you need more space. So in here, on the left side, you have your traction control. And both windows here are fully automatic up and down. Side mirrors are, of course, retractable. Very basic inside. Everything is well laid out. And everything is easily accessible. Everything you need is in here. So in here on the back, you have a space in here for some of your stuff. You could also access this one to put more of your documents or some of your stuff in there as well. And you also have door speakers on the back to give you that surround sound feeling. So let's go and check out the trunk area. Now on the back, you have plenty of space for storage. And here on the bottom, you have your Bose subwoofer and some of your tools in here as well.
Yeah, tire repair kit.
Yeah, and the tire repair kit. This one doesn't come with the spare tire.
There's
Yeah.
no spare.
Just like the previous Nissan Z, this one also has the strut bar that adds stability and rigidity to the body. The interior looks very elegant and sporty at the same time, and you can really tell that the designers meticulously crafted the interior to the best that it can be.
So I hope you enjoyed the full tour review of the all-new 2024 Nissan Z. I really like this car. I drive an 86, and driving one of these sports car is a whole lot of difference from a 10-year-old 2014 86 to this one, a 2024 Nissan Z. It's a world of a difference, and I really enjoyed reviewing this. And once again, thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you Mansky of Visor for allowing me to video review this one. And once again, this is PatrickReyesTV. Please do share, subscribe, and like my videos. This is PatrickReyesTV signing out.